Welcome to Play North, the Manitoba Games Show, episode number 3. Joining me today is Tim Johnston, who's involved with Friends of the Games. Just before we get to Tim, quick reminder, dates for the games are March 4th to 10th, 2018, so we're not that far away. I mean, we got a few months, but we've got some work ahead of us. Be sure to follow us on all social media at Manitoba Games and visit www.manitobagames.ca if you'd like to volunteer. Tim, I get the feeling that your portfolio is a little bit like mine in that we've got a lot of work to do right now while everybody hangs out planning, doing whatever it is they do. And then when the games get here, a lot of our work is done and everybody else has to chip in and step up to 100 miles an hour. So you're Friends of the Games. What exactly is Friends of the Games?
So what we're going to try and do is make sure we've got the financial resources, the contributions in terms of making the experience of the games that much better than the dollars that are just provided through the grants from Sport Manitoba and the contributions locally from the city and school board, things like that. So we're going to go out and we're going to work with local businesses, regional businesses, hopefully provincial businesses to raise some dollars to support the games both from an operating point of view and from capital.
So Friends of the Games isn't a bunch of people that come and do a group hug. It's people that give money to make the games happen.
Well, our committee's pretty friendly, but really we're going to be friendly with those who give us a little bit more support.
That's where you get the hug from us.
Big hugs.
So you've got some goals that you've set for yourself. Talk us through some of these. What are the goals?
So what we've done is we've set a target for each of the areas that we're responsible for as Friends of the Game. So what we've got in operations, we want to raise $100,000 again, and that's going to support the actual hosting of the games to make sure the experience is a little bit more, add a little bit of spirit and things to the games. And so that's our target there at $100,000. Capital, we're looking at $75,000. That's targeted along the lines of some additions to the facility, and we have a phenomenal facility. This is one of the really exciting things about the games is we're going to be here at the VRCC, but you know what, there's always a little bit more you can do. So the host society has talked about some of the things. I think we're looking at adding some bleachers in the Gordon Beard Arena and some other things at the different sport venues. So hopefully we'll come up with some some funding in the tune of $75,000 to contribute there. And then under fundraising, I'm working with Saya Grogoski, who's the co-chair in this area, and she's going to be targeting raising $50,000 doing things like fundraising, and those are going to include things like special events that we're doing. We're going after some grants from community foundations. We're going to do some fundraising. For example, the hole-in-one this summer is some of the proceeds are going to the game. So those are our targets. I have to say they're pretty lofty when you look at other games, but I'm absolutely confident that the community of Thompson, the surrounding region, and I think some of the people that benefit from our community provincially hopefully will come to the table and support us, and we'll be able to make the games a little bit better and a little bit more unforgettable for the participants.
I couldn't agree more, and we're in good hands. We're heading out soon to try to meet these numbers, but you have done a little bit of pre-work. We did an announcement about a month ago, a huge one for people that didn't catch it on Shaw TV or YouTube because it's posted there. Just tell us, what did we announce?
Well, we had a really good event, and I think it put us ahead of many other games in the past, but we have a tremendous corporate community in Thompson, and that's been held up and led largely by Inco and now Valley for many, many years. So Mark Scott was there on behalf of Valley and made a presentation to the group and indicated that they've come on as our nickel sponsor. Now, you'll probably guess most games don't have a nickel sponsor, but in
Never heard it before.
We have a nickel sponsor, and Valley stepped up to the table, and they did it in recognition of what we're trying to do. So the level's $25,000. They've come on as a nickel sponsor, both in terms of operations and capital. And I think that was a huge statement in terms of their commitment to the games, to this community. But Mark also issued a challenge, and that challenge was to other corporations, other community businesses to come to the table with what they can put in. So I appreciated that, and that's really kicked off the Friends of the Games campaign. Where we're going to go now is that we're going to be sending letters to all businesses locally. We're going to target some again at the regional level and at the provincial level and ask for their support under a variety of different areas.
So we don't want you to read this whole board because there's a lot of little writing on there, but similar to other games, we've got a number of little levels. You sort of alluded to those, and with each of those levels, there's just sort of different recognition that you get. Is that correct?
Absolutely, and it's all based on the contribution. And I want to be clear, this is not pure cash. This can be value in kind if it's a product that was budgeted for in our budget. So we budget for things such as food, entertainment, rentals, things like that, equipment. And if there's corporations that are able to donate value in kind that they provide that falls within our budget, then that's counted. And I think that's a huge opportunity for people to come on who may say, you know, those numbers are pretty big, not sure we can do it. Well, let's have a conversation. Let's see, what does your business do? And is there a way we can work that into our budget? So I'm looking forward to those conversations.
Well, and I think a little bit like volunteers, in our call for volunteers, we keep reminding people that the games are way bigger than just sport. And so we're feeding people, we're housing people, we're entertaining them, we're bringing them up here. So maybe you look at your business and you say, what do I have that's related to gymnastics? Nothing. But if you've got food for us, if you've got anything like that, there's a lot of things that we can use that people don't realize, I think. And in this call for support, I think that's a big deal.
It's absolutely huge, and there's some staples of every games that we need, like the food. The food budget is massive.
Crazy.
And so we're going to be looking at some contributions there, but there's also moving things into the community. For example, we have to bring some equipment in that we're not going to be buying, but we're going to be renting or we're going to be using. So there's things like that. So there's lots of opportunities for different businesses to get involved. And your comment about the games are bigger than a sporting event. Unfortunately, showing our age, you and I both enjoyed the 1994 Manitoba Games.
Very much.
But one of the things that I got from people after the games was, in some ways, they felt that they had almost missed out because they hadn't been involved as a volunteer or as a contributor. They came as a spectator and they said, wow, this was bigger than I thought. I wish I would have been there. Well, we're going to give people the opportunity to say, you've got your chance to be there. We're going to give them some notice. We'd like to wrap up a lot of this, I would hope, early in the new year, because the more we can confirm, both in terms of value in kind and cash contribution, that enables the host society, the people that are really doing the work, Bruce,
Exactly.
to make sure
Especially that weekend.
they add those extra things in, and then we can be the spectators and enjoy it.
And enjoy the weekend, we will. You're going to be hitting up businesses and people around town in the very near future. We've got the brochure coming and this sort of thing. If they want to get involved with Friends of the Games, what should they do?
Well, hopefully take a look at the brochure when it comes along with the letter. We'll have the contact information there. But right now we do have the Manitoba Games office here at the VRCC. And of course they can always give me a call either at my workplace, Community Futures North Central, nice little plug there I would add. And or they can always phone me on my cell phone, 679-0915, and I'd be happy to take their call.
For sure. Get involved with Friends of the Games. Get involved as a volunteer by going to www.manitobagames.ca. Follow us on social media at manitobagames.ca. Tim, thanks for joining me. I know that we're going to reach those goals. It's not easy, but we got the right guy on the job. You've got some other people helping you out as well. It's not just you and Saya out there, so that is a very good thing. We look forward to hearing from you. We look forward to seeing you at the 2018 Manitoba Winter Games powered by Manitoba Hydro right here in Thompson, Manitoba.